I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down in the morning light. I'm in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hold My Beer Racing Dirt Sportsman Series here at Kokomo Speedway. The Hold My Beer Racing. Got about 60 laps to get it done tonight. I believe we got approximately 10 contestants out there tonight. They're still out there doing their warm-up. Be going into some heat racing and then on to the feature. This is the last round of the Hold My Beer Sportsman's Series in the Dirt. Going to crown a champion after tonight. Unfortunately, I guess the points are very close, so we won't know tonight who exactly that is going to be. But might pull up a couple of guys here and talk with them real quick like. Pull up our Mr. Big Bad Bob Wells.
User was moved to your channel.
Big Bad Bob Wells, it's Ron Klein up at the booth. You got a copy, sir? Big Bad Bob, you got a copy, sir? Looks like Bob may have stepped away. We'll put him back in his channel.
User was moved out of your channel.
Forgot to change the, been a while since I've done a broadcast. Forgot to change the, so my TeamSpeak doesn't make any noise at me. And, anyways, so we got about 10 seconds here left in the warm-up, and then we should be getting into some heat racing. Should be a good show tonight. Looking forward to seeing what everybody's got out there. As that clock does wind down, reaches 0, we'll see what it comes up with here, or for heat race number 1. All right, looks like we are going
User
to
joined your
have...
channel.
Hey, sorry there, Ron. I was mid-drivers meeting when you brought me up.
No problem, Bob. Just wanted to have a quick chat with you real quick about tonight. Tonight is championship night. We're going to crown a champion. Who has a shot at this tonight?
Well, the guy with the best shot is Keith Haney. He's been solid all season. Brian Abbott, though, has a pretty good shot. The points that you might have looked at might be a little bit misleading. This race is the only race on the series that cannot be dropped. Brian has been at all the races, so a good finish tonight could drop and push out one of his bad finishes and make that points deal kind of shake up. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out once we get them uploaded on Dan Lisa after the race.
Copy that. Well, I appreciate you coming up here and letting us know. We going to be going green here in the first heat race, so I'll let you go and we'll get this underway.
All right, yeah, man. Appreciate you streaming the race and have fun.
Thank you. So we got JJ Garrett starting on the pole.
User left your channel.
Got James Lehman on his outside. Got the 88 of Kyle Chadwick in that third position. The 82 of Brian Abbott on the outside of row number 2. And Anthony Santero and James Haney in the back. We are we're under green here. James Lehman already getting a off that outside position on the first row, taking a nice charge down the backstretch. Gets about 3 car lengths over the 73 car of JJ Garrett. Brian Abbott, excuse me, Kyle Chadwick on that high side. Oh, the 73 gets a little bit sideways. That's going to really hinder his chance of having a decent finish. We'll jump forward to Brian Abbott, now in second place behind James Lehman. See what these cars are getting wound up to. 6,100 RPM or so. Good battle for second going on here between Kyle Chadwick and Brian Abbott. Chadwick choosing that low line, Abbott picking the high line. Your leader, James Lehman, has about a turn on the field. 2 laps to go. We are on the final lap now. Sorry about that. James Lehman going down the backstretch for the final time. Gets it sideways going into 3, hanging it down to the bottom. Going to come across the line there. No problem winning that race. Looks like Abbott, Chadwick, Haney, Santero will be your finishing spots. Now, unfortunately, it's calling me out for the lead here on starting position. I will not be gridding, obviously. I'll be waiting for Mr. Wells to grid up. Mr. Wells has gridded up. He's going to be on the outside. That'll slide the inside line up. So we will have Kent Conley starting on the front row. On the inside, Mr. Bob Wells starting on the outside row. Inside, second row will be Jason Hughes. And outside of him will be the 87 of Keith Haney. As you heard Mr. Wells comment that Mr. Haney had a pretty good shot at winning it. See how he does in the heat race here. When we get to the main, we do have 60 laps, so looks like the pace car is about to, pace truck rather actually, is about to get going here momentarily. Excuse me for a moment. Sorry about that, folks. Voice was fine all day long. Now it sounds like I got a frog in my throat. Not exactly sure what's going on with that, but we'll be coming to green here this next lap. Pan out a little bit. Maybe pan in a little bit. 88 goes. Push up the track a little bit. Bob Wells on the outside. Jason Hughes in the middle. Keith Haney down there on the very bottom. Bob Wells taking it sideways. Jason Hughes following him up there on the high side. Keith Haney liking it down low. Bottom side doesn't seem to be working for Mr. Haney at the moment. The 88 of Kent Connolly out in front of this pack here. Bob Wells carrying some good speed in that midline. Might carry him through. Keith Haney's refusing to give up on the bottom line, and it seems to work for him as he climbs up into second position. Kent Conley sliding up high on the exit of turn 4. Haney keeping it down low. Wells up towards the wall. As we have a little bit of a couple of cars getting together there, or at least very close. Haney now switching to the high side. Just 4 laps to go. Connolly right up against that wall. And Connolly running very high through the corners here. Jason Hughes getting into the wall in the back there. Him and Bob get together, see if they can get it together and keep it going. Bob manages to get going. Jason Hughes gets into the grass, takes it back into the grass. Just won't seem to go for him as he finally does get it back out on the speedway. Got 2 laps to go, coming to 1 to go. Keith Haney has closed the gap a little bit. He tries that low side again. Going to try to get it down. Can't get it to his back bumper. Connolly gets a good run off that high side. Haney down low looking for some bite off this corner. We'll see if he can stick it in there, and unable to carry that momentum through. Kent Connolly, your winner. Keith Haney second. Bob Wells coming across third. And Jason Hughes will take fourth. I'm not sure if we're going to go with a slight intermission warm-up. If there's going to be a B main. Looks like we are going to go straight to the main event. We'll wait for those cars to get lined up. Not sure if the grid will work for this one or not. Go ahead and give it a shot. Nope. Not going to work. Gonna have to try and figure out and see if I can get that to work somehow. Oh, you know what? This is the B main. So this will be the B main. Not sure how many people or how many drivers will be moving forward, but this is the B main. Looking at my list over here. At Kyle Chadwick, he's going to line up on the pole position there. Bob Wells will be starting off on the outside first row. James Haney will be starting off on the inside of second lane. Jason Hughes outside of the second lane. And the number 11 of Anthony Santoro will be lining up on the third row inside. Just 5 cars will be in this B main. Kyle Chadwick has the command of the field here. We'll see what happens as he rockets off, gets a good start. Bob Wells, not as good a start, but does get a good little run on the outside. Gets a little bit sideways, gets it woed up. Getting right to the back bumper of Kyle Chadwick. It's like that 88's a little bit sideways. 42 now following suit, getting a little bit sideways. I hear a little bit of bumping and banging going on back there. No caution yet. The 11 gets through. 58 gets going. The 55 now getting going. In relativity to our leaders, oh wow, James Haney not very far from being lapped. Bob Wells during that exchange has found his way around the 88 car of Connolly. I'm sorry, excuse me, of Chadwick. Chadwick trying to take it up high. Wells carrying good momentum through 1 and 2 on that high side. Gaps Chadwick by a couple car lengths. Fall back to our James Haney. He is currently being scored in the 4th position. Jason Hughes has taken it to the pits. Anthony Santoro is being scored in the 3rd position. He is about a third of the track behind your leaders. So the best battle on the track right now is between the 42 and the 88 of Kyle Chadwick. Unfortunately, looks like, not unfortunately for Bob, looks fortunately for Bob, looks like he has found something, starting to pull away from that 88 of Kyle Chadwick by just a little bit. Five laps to go, should be 4 laps to go now. Bob Wells getting into the wall just a little bit, but he's got that high side work, and he puts a little bit more time between him and the 88 of Kyle Chadwick. Chadwick getting a good run through the middle of the corner. take a look at that number 11 car of Anthony Santoro as he goes around. 3 laps to go. Now 2 as the leaders cross the start finish line. We'll go back up front, watch Bob Wells go in, go ahead and jump inside with Bob Wells and see what it's like on the dirt track from the driver's perspective. Bob trying to keep up his momentum through the corner. You hear him working that throttle as he comes across and takes the checkered flag. Excuse me, that was the white flag. No, it was the checkered flag. Will be the warm-up session prior to the feature race. These guys will get a chance to come out here and go ahead and put a few laps down, get a hold of, try to get a hold of how the track acts, the difference between when they first started and now. As you can see, starting to get a little bit darker. The lights have come on. Track might have a little bit more grip than it did before. Got a couple minutes here. Let's go ahead and see if we can ink up a couple of drivers and talk with them real quick.
User was moved to your channel.
Mr. James Lehman, this is Ron Klein up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, looks like you won your heat race. It's gonna probably put you either, I believe you won the first heat race. Sorry, I know might sound stupid, but got a lot of different things going on. Been a while since I broadcasted, tried to figure it all out. That should put you on the pole for the feature race here. What's the confidence level like?
To be honest, pretty high. But this track is known for changing pretty quick. It goes from high to low, back up to high, depending on how much wear is put on the track. But I know Keith and Brian are gonna put on a hell of a fight, and I'm not gonna try to race them too hard tonight. You know, those two are racing for the championship of this series, so they should be a great show tonight for sure.
Copy that. Well, I will thank you for coming up, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you after the race.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was
User was moved out of
James
your channel.
Lehman. We're going to yank up Bob Wells real quick while we got a chance.
User was moved to your channel.
Bob Wells, Ron Klein back in the booth again. Sir, you got a copy real quick?
Yes, sir.
How about that? Winning that B main, a strong run there. Talk to me real quick about that. Only got about 30 seconds here.
Yeah, just I struggle with this place running the bottom, and I just went when it was comfortable, and it worked. Car kind of stays wound up if you run that high line that's banking up there, and Kyle, I guess, was trying to run the bottom. He's doing good, though. He's getting better at the dirt racing. He'll put on a good show, I think, for you guys.
Copy that. And what do you think your chances are for winning this thing tonight?
I'm just here to have fun and then run good. Got some guys here that definitely got a little bit more dirt talent than I do. I think Keith Haney and Abbott will probably be up front, and Lehman. Those will be the 3 guys running up front for sure. And if I get a 4th, I'll be pretty happy.
Alrighty, there you have it, folks. You heard it from the man himself. Bob Wells going to try to race his way into the 4th position. Thanks, Bob. We'll talk to you hopefully after the race.
You bet.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, these guys are getting ready to grid it up. We are going to be looking at Mr. James Lehman on your pole. Outside pole is going to be Kent Conley. Inside second row is going to be Brian Abbott. Outside second row is going to be Keith Haney. Bob Wells winning that B main puts him in the 5th position in that 3rd row on the inside. Number 88 car of Kyle Chadwick will be starting on the outside row, 3rd row outside. Anthony Santoro will be starting on the 4th row inside. James Haney Fourth row outside, and Jason Hughes will be starting on the inside in the fifth row. We've got 60 laps here. Should be a interesting race. Probably go by pretty quick. As the drivers take their warm-up lap. Pace car will duck off next lap. And it should be pretty interesting to watch and see. I think Bob is probably right. I think we're going to see a lot of action up there towards the front. Pace truck has dropped off. James Lehman has control of the field coming through 3 and 4. We're going to be going green. We are green. James Lehman getting a very good start. The number 82 of Brian Abbott down there on the inside next to Kent Connolly on the outside. Keith Haney on the outside thinking about making it 3 wide. As we look at Brian Abbott and Keith Haney down there on the inside now. Haney trying to get a run down there on the bottom and find some grip. Trying to pull up to the back bumper of that number 82 car. These two are the championship contenders from what Bob was telling me. Are losing a lot of momentum through the middle of that corner. James Lehman still out in front, got himself a pretty nice gap. Wow, just about a half a straightaway or more. It's like James Lehman may have definitely found something as we go back to the battle between the 88 088 and 82 car. I'm sorry, got that wrong. The 82 and the 87. There we go. 82 of Brian Abbott and 87 of Keith Haney. With the 088 of Kent Connolly and 88 of Kyle Chadwick shortly behind them. Drivers starting to move up to that top side. See a good majority of the drivers up there on the top. Haney taking it down low though. Seeing if he can advance. Can't get enough bite off the corner to keep enough momentum. Goes back to the high side. There's somebody getting into the wall. As we look towards the back of the field, we've got James Haney fighting for position with Anthony Santoro. Anthony Santoro sitting in the 7th position. Big Bad Bob Wells just got into the wall there. I'm sure you saw that live. A little bit of gap between those drivers there as we go back to Keith Haney. Brian Abbott just in front of him. Top 5 as they run. James Lehman out front. Brian Abbott running 2nd. Keith Haney running 3rd. Kent Connolly running 4th. Kyle Chadwick running 5th. Looking at our leader, James Lehman jumped to the blimp view. Probably not the best view right now because the blimp is directly overhead of what we're looking at. Hoping to kind of show the distance between him and the other drivers, but I don't think we're going to get what we want to see. Oh, we got a car sideways. That is going to bring out the caution flag. I believe that was the 42 car of Bob Wells. No, that did not work. Unfortunately. Looked like Bob might have gotten a little bit of help there. Got a little sideways. Not a lot of damage done. Did lose a couple of positions. That was on lap 14 or 15. We're on lap 16 of 60, so we still got plenty of time. And we are back green flag racing. Take a look at our leader, James Lehman. Keith Haney diving it down low, gonna see if he can make it work this time. Not enough drive off. Haney getting it very sideways, losing a lot of momentum there. Lehman running the very bottom through 3 and 4. Haney searching around the track trying to find something to catch that car of Brian Abbott right in front of him. This is the number 82 of Brian Abbott as he gets up real close to the wall. Keeping nice momentum, looking backwards. That is the distance between him and the 87 of Keith Haney. Jump forward to the number 8 car of James Lehman. James Lehman leading all the laps so far. Really seems to be getting some very good grip down there on the bottom, while all the 2 other guys behind him as we go back under caution. Trying to see. It's like Kent Connolly must have had an issue. Looks like coming out of turn 4, gets into the wall. Up and over he goes. Stuck upside down, and that will end up getting, he will have to get towed. Shame for Kent Connolly, who was running very well. Pace car is off. We are going to be going back to green flag racing. Lehman throws it down hard. Abbott on the outside, Keith Haney on the inside. As we watch Lehman throw it down, we can see Brian Abbott going to the high side, seeing if he can make up any time doing that. Losing just a little bit of momentum through 1 and 2, it looks like, from that high side, but he seems to gain in 3 and 4. Top 3 spread out again from the rest of the field. James Lehman, your leader after 34 of 60 laps. Keith Haney trying to creep in closer to 82 of Brian Abbott. As Keith Haney comes into the picture here, still trying everything that he can to get to that 82 car. Keith Haney touching the wall there. Still trying to chase down that number 82 car. Got about 20 laps to go. Coming to cross 40 here. Lehman not such a big of a lead as he had before, and we've got a caution again. Like this time it may have been 58 of Jason Hughes. Not positive, but we will take a look. Oh, gets crossed up, ends up going head first into the wall. Shame for Jason Hughes. Big Bad Bob Wells in the pit right now as well. We look back at our leaders. James Lehman still out in front. We've had 3 cautions tonight. Getting ready to go back green. Weather is a cool 65 degrees with 78% humidity. We are under green. James Lehman gets away. Keith Haney trying to not let Brian Abbott get away. Brian Abbott gets a great run off of turn 2, gets a run on Lehman, but loses a little bit of momentum. Lehman's found something really good down at the bottom of the track. Abbott and Haney running right in each other's tire tracks. Haney closing up on Abbott, just gives him a little bump. Haney throwing it down low, trying to make the bottom side work. Trying to get that drive off. He does get a good drive off this time. He goes low again. See if he tries a slide job here. Almost a slide job. Doesn't quite come up and actually throw the block. Haney once again trying that low side. Cannot get enough bite off to get in front of that 82.
User joined your channel.
Haney back to the top side. Still trying to chase down that
Well, how we
82
doing up
car.
here, Ron?
Doing great, Bob. We are on lap 50 of 60, coming to 51, so we'll have 10 to go. Keith Haney really been trying all race to get to that number 82 car, just cannot seem to get there. He can get to the bumper, but he can't get around him. He's tried low, he's tried high, but Abbott staying on the high side, keeping momentum. Haney just can't seem to get around him. What's it going to take?
User left your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Sorry about that, Bob. I was having a conversation with myself. I'm sitting here
Oh.
talking. I'm sitting here talking to you, and I didn't have the button pushed down. Race has been great. We got about 8 laps to go. Haney is trying everything that he can to get around Abbott. Abbott is sticking that high side and making it work. What's it going to take for Haney to get around him?
He's got to be patient with the throttle down there on the bottom. He's got to go where he isn't, you know. I don't think running the same line is going to get it. Looks like Lehman still running the bottom, and there goes Haney down to the
He
bottom.
he does pull a slide job that time. He actually pulled the slide job, and that was a definite full slide job. Pulled up in front of him, got bumped. He pulled it off pretty much perfectly. Didn't take the guy's nose off. Does get around him. Just 5 laps to go now. Now Abbott's got to try to get back to him. Not sure how close the points are again, as you said before. But Lehman just in a commanding situation tonight, has led from flag, probably 2 flag, barring some kind of an incident. Oh, Keith Haney gets it sideways. He's going to lose that spot to Abbott that he fought so hard to get.
Yeah, it's a shame. James missed like 3 races, I think it was, and he would be right in the mix of this championship battle for sure. Had he been here the whole season, he had a military leave, kept him out for a couple weeks, and then missed one other week because he was serving our country late on a Wednesday. So,
and since we just had Memorial Day, I'm sure everybody knows someone that served in the military. Always nice to thank a veteran. Just 1 lap to go here, Bob. Looks like Keith Haney's not going to be able to get back around Abbott. And it looks like unless Lehman makes a huge mistake, he is going to lead from flag to flag.
yeah, there it is. The checker flag out. James Lehman once again, multi-time winner here on the dirt run. Great season. Great season for all these guys. Definitely a mixed skill set. I've seen a lot of these guys really grow their skills. And if you're watching and want to work on your skills on dirt, it's a great place to do it at Hold My Beer Racing. But I'll let you go and do your post-race interview. I wanted to pop up, say, hey, it was a early night for me. Got a meatball flag and with no fast repair. That was it for me. So,
Copy that. Well, thanks for popping up, and let us know who wins the championship, that is. Check that out on Hold My Beer Racing on Facebook. He'll announce the winner and post it up. Thanks, Bob.
yeah, we got to get to work on that right now, actually.
Alrighty, have a good one.
User was moved to your channel.
All right, number 8,
User
Mr.
left your
James
channel.
Lehman. You got a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, I watched you run the bottom side the entire night, and in the beginning, it looked like you were getting a little better drive off than the rest of the guys were. You had pulled out to quite a lead there. Once the caution started kind of coming out, you stuck to the bottom, but your lead wasn't as large. But it looked like you were making the bottom work where others couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there was a couple more cars on the track tonight, I think that top side probably would have been a lot better to run because that bottom lane would have been wore out a lot faster. But yeah, I was very shocked I was able to make the bottom lane work as long as it did.
Well, you led from flag to flag, and Bob was just up here and said, had you not had to miss a couple of races due to your military obligations, you would have been right in the thick of this thing. So I know that's disappointing. I've been there where I've had to had something in real life come up, but we don't do this for a job or it'd be a different story. But I'm sure,
Oh yeah, for sure. If we
All
were
the-
doing this for our life, then it'd be different.
yeah, I'm sure you'd be very disappointed not being not having the chance to run for the championship here tonight. But talk to me about your night overall and anybody that you want to thank.
Well, tonight's just kind of went the way I wanted to do. Win it and then let those two battle it out behind me. But thanks to everybody at Home of Beer and everybody in the multi-league for showing up throughout the whole season. I'm looking forward to the next Sportsman Series next season, and everybody at Bad Apple Racing, and yeah. Thank you for broadcasting, by the way.
Oh, not a
Go back and
problem.
watch us.
We're doing a little test run tonight because next week we got the big showdown with Hold My Beer Racing once again. Bob has asked me to broadcast the Knoxville Nationals at 8:03 p.m. Eastern, which will be 7:03 for me here on Central. We'll be live for that and looking forward to that. Hopefully you're going to be in there running that. We're going to be running the sprint cars, I believe, the 360s or something. But hopefully we'll see you there in the sprint cars and see if you can get you a Knoxville National win.
I won't be making that race because military is gonna be taking military things come up again.
Copy that. Well, want to say thank you for coming out tonight and putting on a good show for the fans. I'm sure they appreciate it. I know I do. Thanks until next time.
Thank you.
All right, and that was your winner, James
User
Lehman
was
in the
moved out
number
of your
8 car.
channel.
That's going to wrap it up here at Exile Broadcasting for the night. My name is Ronald Klein, and it's been a pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. Look forward to next week. Again, the Hold My Beer Knoxville Nationals, 8:03 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday. Hope to see you there.
Joined your channel.
And Ron, real quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
still there? Keith Haney did win the championship tonight.
Alrighty, there you go, folks. Just as I was getting ready to sign off, Bob has thrown the numbers down at the calculator, and Keith Haney takes the championship. So big congratulations to Keith Haney on winning the Hold My Beer Sportsman Dirt Series Championship. And again, next week, June 5th, 8:03 p.m. Eastern Time, Knoxville Nationals right here on Exile Broadcasting. We'll see you next week.